A federal agent was on the side of the road making a phone call when a woman suddenly waved him over.
Can I help you?
Some man he tried to attack me.
Okay, how, when?
Like 5 minutes ago, he had a knife.
The agent immediately started asking the woman what had happened, but in the next second, she suddenly grabbed Zidane by the arm.
Now!
That was when Zidane realized he had been set up with the gun pointed right at him, and under direct threat. He had no choice but to cooperate for the moment. He took off his watch and handed it over, then pulled his wallet from his pocket and gave that to them too. But to his surprise, they still knocked him to the ground. Zidane tried to get back up, but instead of running off after the robbery, the two thieves stayed just to humiliate him.
Next time a girl waves at you, keep walking.
That instantly sent Zidane into a rage, but by the time he slowly got back to his feet, the robbers were already gone. Just then, his phone rang. It was Nina telling him to get to the crime scene as soon as possible. Zidane immediately rushed out of there. Today's case was a robbery-homicide. The victim was a young Hispanic woman. Nina could tell right away that something was off with Zidane. She asked him what happened. Even though he said he was fine, the cut on his forehead gave him away.
Whoa, what happened?
I took a spill while I was jogging.
The autopsy later showed that Marta had been strangled to death. The killer was clearly very strong, and there were obvious abrasions on her wrists, suggesting handcuffs had been used. The killer also seemed experienced, because this method made it easier to overpower women, but no DNA had been left behind. Later, Nina and Zidane went to Marta's home. Her mother said there had been a strange man around lately. He had followed Marta after work last week. She had told Marta to take a cab home, but Marta insisted on saving money and taking the subway. Jubal immediately told the analysts to pull surveillance footage from Marta's route home to see if they could identify the stalker. At that moment, Aisha pulled Zidane into the conference room alone. It turned out the NYPD had already informed her about the robbery and was willing to transfer the case to the FBI. Isabel said Officer Chavez told her the two robbers were believed to be tied to at least 10 other robberies. Zidane was confused after hearing that meanwhile, the analysts had already identified the man who had been following Marta as Am. He had prior charges for stalking and harassment, and he was currently working as a security guard, which gave him easy access to handcuffs. Zidane and Nina went to Am's apartment, and after a bit of a struggle, finally brought him in. But after questioning him for a long time, they realized he was nothing more than a creep. He admitted he approached Marta because he thought she was attractive, but he swore he did not kill her. He claimed his previous charges were false accusations made by his ex-girlfriend. At that moment, Jubal interrupted the interrogation. The NYPD had just discovered another body, and the cause of death matched Marta's exactly time of death was estimated at about an hour ago. And during the time Marta was killed, Am had been sitting in the interrogation room the entire time, which proved he was not the killer. The federal agents rushed to the new scene. Zidane walked over to the victim and carefully examined the details. This time, the killer had left behind a pair of handcuffs, but the serial number had been filed off. Meanwhile, Kelly uncovered a new lead. 3 weeks earlier, the NYPD had filed a report about another young woman who had been attacked. A hooded man had dragged her into an alley, bound her hands with zip ties and tried to assault her, but she managed to get away. Afterward, the girl never reported it herself.